Hello there, how are you? I am Helen Sattler, your Destiny Helper. Thank you once again for being with me, answering your question, answering your email that I appreciate so very much for you taking the time to write me, taking the time to allow me to know what you think of the different programs. And I am deeply, deeply appreciative how these programs you say are assisting you, helping you to cope and increasing your coping skills and bringing you to a place of victory, because that's what God wants. God wants us to have victory every single time. And you are more wonderful and more powerful than you've ever imagined. This is why these cluster B type people love you. And the reason they love you is not even love. That's why they connected with you. I wish they did have the ability to love, but they don't. And so they don't love you, but they connect with you, and it's fuel based. You offer so much fuel, copious amount of fuel, and they like it. And so I am here. Thank you so much for those of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. When you listen to the program, please subscribe, take and push the bell. Every time there's a different program, it would be honored for you to join us and enjoy the programs that we make. So let's deal with the question of the day. The question of the day is, what is the narcissistic stare? And why do the stare occur at different phases of the relationship? Excellent, excellent question. The narcissistic stare is when the narcissist seems to glare through your soul, and they have this hypnotic effect or this torturous effect. And so the first one that we're going to deal with is to stare in the golden stage or the love bombing stage. And this is, they call it the stare of seduction. And what this stare does is, when you look in the eyes of a narcissist, whatever color eyes they have and however the eyes is, the eyes seems to just have this glare about it, this glow about it, and it's so penetrable. It penetrates your soul, and what happens is this glare becomes an intense mirror. And what happens is, as you look into their eyes, you are actually looking at yourself. And when you're looking at yourself through their eyes, they are reading you, how much you love them, how much you want them, how devoted. And so when they're reading this, they're bouncing the message back to you. And when you look in their eyes, you are getting this message about how wonderful you are, how beautiful you are, and how much they love you and adore you. And so you're thinking that that's the narcissist feeling, and you feel like they are the only one in the whole world, because when they look at you, they're looking at you with total loyalty, total occupation, total surrender, which is none of this is true. That's you. The narcissist is looking in your eyes to read where you are. And when they read where you are, it's like looking in the water, reflecting. Remember the narcissist, the story of the narcissist, when he looked in the water and saw his reflection and fell in love with himself. Well, the narcissists look in your eyes and you look in their eyes. And when you're looking in their eyes, you are seeing yourself and you are reading yourself. You are translating yourself. And so when you look at them in the love bombing stage, how you love them, how devoted you are to them, that is the message that's coming through their eyes. But that is your reflection, and they are just the water showing you where you are, and you misinterpreted it and gave them all the credit. And so the narcissistic stare in the love bombing stage take out all of the background noise. Nothing is important. Nobody is important. It's just you and the narcissist. The narcissist know that it's not them, especially the upper mid and the upper greater narcissists. They know what to do. They know how to do it. They're very skilled and they're very knowledgeable who they are. The lower mid narcissist, or sometimes even the mid narcissist, is just coming into an awareness of who they are. The lower narcissist and the lower mid narcissist may not be aware of who they are. They just know the field. They know the response. So they are being trained to acknowledge the response, to know what to do, and they do it, and this is the results. So they're learning what to do. And so in the love bombing stage, when you look at the narcissist and those eyes piercing and they pierce your heart, and you love them so devotedly until you feel like you would just give your life for them, and they are the only thing you think about, they are the only thing you want, until some of you that were in church, you no longer go to church, because the narcissist soon occupied the place that God occupied. And if you notice, you gradually get away from the church, you gradually get away from things of strength, you gradually get away from the family, you gradually lose interest in everything else but the narc. And you find you don't even know you slipping into these different portals. You don't even know that this is what happened. You look up and you're in this place. You look up and you hadn't been to church in a while. You hadn't even prayed in a while. You haven't read your Bible in a while. You haven't been with your family in a while. You haven't been to the mosque. You haven't been to the temple. You haven't been with your family. You haven't been anywhere. You've been occupied with the narcissist. And the narcissist got all of your attention. And he got your every thought. It's like they feel every atom, every molecule, every electron and neutron in your body is filled with the narcissist. And when you look in their eyes during the love bombing stage, that hypnotic effect, that's what you see. And it pulls on your heart. You never seen eyes like this. You never had the effect of this in anywhere you went, because the NPD is a different kind of species. They are addictive. It's not that what they do is addictive. They themselves can cause you to be addicted to them, where you will find yourself needing them, wanting them, can't do without them. You would rather die than for them to not be with you. The greater and the upper mid narcissist is very aware of this. The mid and the lower mid, the mid is learning this. He has a sense, maybe a slight sense of awareness, or just coming into the awareness. But the lower mid and the lower narcissist, they're still trying to figure this thing out. They just know something wrong with them. They're different. They know they react different. They know when you give them fuel, they feel real good. They feel real happy. So they go back to get that fuel at any cost. The lower narcissists know that violence turns them on. I mean, you would think the way they beat you that they will have some mercy. There's no mercy. That's fuel. And you have to have wisdom. You don't need mercy, honey. You need wisdom to get up out of there. Let mercy come while you're leaving so you can live. And that is the stare in the love bombing stage. And then the next one is the pre-devaluation. The pre-devaluation is when the narcissist is getting kind of tired. You know, you're doing stuff and you're irritating them, and now you're not perfect. They realize you're not perfect, because the love bombing stage, the golden stage, is over. And so you may even go to the bronze stage. You've fallen from the golden stage, you're in the bronze stage, where you still can get in contact with, they still love you, but it's not the same. It's not them giving themselves totally to you. Then there's the pre-devaluation stare. The pre-devaluation stare is when the narcissists come home, and it's almost like the calm before the storm. During the calm before the storm, there is a stare that goes with the pre-devaluation. And the pre-devaluation is going to prepare you for the devaluation. And so there is a stare. It's neutral. They go to the neutral zone. And you know something is different. During this time, you start to question yourself. You start to say, what did I do wrong? You're trying to say what happened, because you don't understand what happened. Usually the triangulation is almost over. He almost got that bait the way he wanted, but not quite. He have to work a little bit more. So he starts to prepare you out and start to savage his energy and decrease his energy from you, because he's giving his energy, or she's giving her energy over there. So you got the devaluation stare. The devaluation stare is when they look at you and you trying to figure it out, but it's nothing. You can't read where they're happy. You can't read where they're sad. It's just these numb looking eyes, like whatever. And you're thinking, yesterday you loved me. Yesterday you was all over me. And today you won't even speak to me. You go sit in the chair and plop in the chair. You're not hungry. You don't want to talk. You don't want to be bothered, and you can't say anything because they're not angry. They're not fussing. They're not giving you problems. Neutral. Go to my video. Uh, uh, I think I did the video on yesterday, and it's the calm before the storm. Go to that video and check it out. You will love that video, and it would explain some things to you that you're going to. But there is a stare that goes with that, and that stare is a neutral stare right in the midst of it, right in the midst of it. And it is the neutral narcissist. The neutral narcissist. Please go and look at that video, In the Eye of the Storm. That video will let you know how the narcissist is when he's fueling. And usually right after that, all hell break loose. All hell break loose. And so when you look in his eyes, you can't read whether he loves you. You can't read whether he's leaving. You can't read whether she's staying. You can't read whether she's happy. You just can't read it. It's neutral. They're numb. They're quiet. They're not saying anything. They're reserving their energy. They grunt. They don't have answer questions. They're not silent, so you can't call it the silent. They don't fade out, so they're not fading away at this time. So it's not the fading narcissist. And they're not confused because they're really not interacting. They're just in a neutral zone. And so this stare seemed to be nonchalant. They just nonchalant. Whatever would be, would be. And so that is the second stare. The third stare is now. They're going to devaluation. That supply, the triangulation is hooked. And they know they got it. That new supply is on the hook. That new supply is biting. That new supply is supplying fuel. I mean, they got copious fuel going. So they going now to devaluation because you are in the way. It takes more energy with you, and they need you out of their way so they can deal with the new supply, so they can deal with where they want to be. Because when they first get the supply, the narcissist is always seeking to fill this hole that is in them. They don't feel love. They don't feel cared for. They can't love, but they want you to care for them. Everything they lack, they look for it in you. And so they're looking for this love. They're looking for this caring. They're looking for you to give to them. They're looking for you to want them. They're looking for you to affirm them. They want affirmation. They want you to tell them how wonderful they are, how good they are, how great they are. And when you tell them there's nobody better than you, the way you love me, the way you make love to me, the way you hold me, the way you talk to me, how you give to me, the gifts you give to me, and the fact that I can get in contact with you, and the way you care for me, and the way you're concerned about me. You need to go to the one about the information, because when the narcissist is asking questions, he's not asking questions to know about you. He's asking questions for future information to torment you with, because the more information they got, the more when they go to the smear campaign they can use. Everything that the narcissist does has a reason behind it. The narcissists don't do anything because they love you. They don't do anything because they like you. Everything they do has an attachment to it. Believe me, these are backdoor hackers, and they're loaded with all kind of Trojans that they want to spear into your head, into your mind, into your heart, to get your emotions, to overthrow you, and to get a hold to your will. And then when they get your will, you will do anything they say. That is the work of the narcissist. So doing devaluation, it is this look of hate, like you are in my way. They may even just cuss you out. They may even they're devaluating you. They're verbally stating how they think about you, and you're looking at them, cannot believe that this is coming out of their mouth. And this is a person who just said they love you. This is a person you've been with for 7 years. This is a person you got children with. They don't care nothing about those children. They don't care nothing about those years. You're going to get devaluated. And when you get devaluated, the next thing's coming is the discard. And a lot of times you can see it, but you don't believe it because you don't want to go. You got to remember the narcissist is not addicted to you. He's addicted to your fuel, but he can go and get more fuel. And usually he do. And that's why there's the triangulation, because the narcissists get bored. They get tired. It doesn't matter. You can be the most beautiful woman in the world. You could be the greatest sex in the world. The narcissist is leaving you, baby. Bye bye, baby, and I'm gone. That's the way that this ball rolls. And it doesn't matter how gorgeous you are. You can just lose weight. You can buy the best clothes. It doesn't work. You can buy them a car. They happy that you bought them a car. And then 3 to 6 months, they want something else. And if you can't give them nothing else, a little charm, a little with gold on it to flatter them, you are gone. And so the devaluation stage is when they are totally telling you everything that you're not. And you can't believe that this is coming out of their mouth. How can you say this about me? And they don't care in front of the kids. They don't care. They will embarrass you in front of your family. They will embarrass you in public, because when the narcissists want you away, they will go to the extreme to cut you down at any cost. And they'll play it so where it look like you are the problem, where it look like you are misusing them, and they love you, and it's you cheating, it's you. That's what the narcissist does in the state of devaluation. And this stare, when they look at you, tells you who they are. If you ever doubt it, you won't doubt it anymore. The stare of devaluation devaluates you with a look. They tell you everything that you're not. They tell you they don't want to be with you with a look. They tell you to get away and stay away with a look. With that look, you look so poison. You look like you will hurt them if you touch them. This is the look. And the look penetrates, it pierces your soul. And the fear is lit. And you're wondering what is getting ready to happen. Because everything about that look lets you know you ain't staying or he's not staying. And this look graduates to the look of discard. The look of discard is when he has hooked the bait. And the bait is on. And that bait loves him. That bait, just like you, thought it was good. And they've got the look, that golden look. The look when they're being love bombed, that erase everything out of the world but them. That erase all background noise. And they have the narcissist total attention. And the narcissist is in the role. And they are role playing. Everything you felt, they need to see it in the new supply's eyes. And they mirror that. And the new supply think it's the narcissist. The new supply don't know that that look that they see, those feelings that they're feeling, is their own. They love themselves. They see what they want in themselves. And so now you are being devalued. And you getting the look of discard. The look of discard is a dead, empty, evil look. Sometimes their faith is distorted with the look. If you ever wanted to know whether the narcissist was diabolical, this look would take away all questions. It pierces your soul. It brings fear in you to the height. It demands your death, not even your absence. This look lets you know that you are hated, that the narcissist cannot stand you. And why do you ever exist? And the narcissist may tell you, I don't believe I've ever given myself to you, someone as low as you, to have someone like me. The look of discard is it is a diabolical look. You would think demons has entered. This person seems like they're possessed. Their eyes are empty. Their face distorted. Their eyes are dark. You're searching their eyes. You're trying to look for the white of their eyes. You don't find it. Because the whole eye look like it's black. And through the eyes, the penetrable evil that is coming through that person's stare. And they are looking at you, and fear grips your soul. Every part of you is gripped by fear. You're trying to reach on the inside for life. And it seems every place you reach is totally saturated by fear. And you can hear the growl, the scorning. And you know that it's demonic. You know that it's not real, but it is. And now, you know, because the look tell you, get out. Get out. Get away from me. That look is demonic. You can discern it so easy. You feel it. The room gets cold, icy. This stale smell comes. And the narcissist, his face, her face distorted. They don't look like the handsome, the beauty. They look like hell itself, death itself. And you are wondering, how can this be? The look of discard penetrates your mind, penetrates your will, penetrates your soul. And it's the look of death. No life whatsoever. And you wonder, what am I doing with this? It's not even human. And I'm with this. The narcissistic stare. 4 different stages, 4 different voices, 4 different reasons, 4 different ways. Know which stare you're getting. With the stare of discard, protect yourself. Know who you are and prepare yourself. With every stare, it usually gets worse because each step is leading to another step. And each step is leading to is never the final discard. We'll talk about that too. I pray that I've answered your questions, and I love your emails. Please keep sending them. Let me know how you've enjoyed this video. The narcissistic stare is in stages: love bombing, pre-devaluation, devaluation, discard. Each stare delivers the message. Know which message you're getting. And the love bombing message, it was never him. It was always you. Your reflection is in the water. If you loved it, that's the beauty of who you are. I'm Helen Sattler, your destiny helper. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the page, and push the bell. Every program that I do, you will be alerted. And I pray that this has been another program that really bless you and that you enjoy and that assist you. Please join me next time. I look forward to it. God bless.